Welcome back to another episode of the Break the Bank podcast. This is your boy Lerk with the homie Charles, as always. What's good, bro? How's everything today? How's your basketball game?
1 point defeat, all good. But we live to fight another day.
This is the first time I think I heard it. Is this a different team or is this the same team? Because this is the first time I hear of y'all losing a game.
Oh no, we don't lose too much. But shit happens. We were playing some. What it was is we was playing some dudes we knew.
Oh, y'all was playing down to y'all comp or they just knew y'all games?
We literally we had a game today. I was literally playing ball with a 4 day 5 starters yesterday.
Oh, shit.
So it's like everybody know everybody game. So it's a toss up.
Okay. And y'all only lost by one and they had a scout on them.
Yeah, it's Atlanta. It's a lot of leagues. Like literally three of the guys that are off on that team are on another team that I play on. So like these guys are my teammates in other leagues. So
Bro,
everybody
that's
knows
funny.
everybody's game. Yeah,
That's dumb funny.
yeah,
That's crazy. Today you throwing him an alley. Tomorrow you trying to block his shot.
yeah.
That's
So it's like it's a good vibe though because everybody's just at the free throw line chopping it up because we all know each other. It ain't no bad energy. It's just dudes hooping. Good vibe. It's a 35 and over league. I'm old, but it's grown men in there. Everybody playing like some grown men.
at least there's some good vibes there because this last episode of Shogun.
Buzzkill.
Uh, I'm not gonna go as far as you. I don't know. You. I was a little taken aback by your initial comments when we first spoke, but it was an underwhelming finale for me. Why do you call it a buzzkill? Because last week I predicted it to get crazy, and you flat out told me, "Nah, bro, that's not what's gonna happen," and it
Right.
definitely wasn't.
At a certain point, I just feel like um if you're gonna do like so much stuff being like ambiguous for 9 episodes, the you got to have more clarity than one conversation with you and Yabushiga at the end. Like it's got to you got to tie up a couple of loose ends, explain something. Like that's all I wanted was just a little bit more of like everything is vague. Even at the end, it's kind of vague. And unless you like go look up history and like really understand what happened, you have no idea what happened. Like I was saying, like even at the end credits, there wasn't like a paragraph that explained it at the end. Even at Toranaga went on to rule Japan and created even one of those
Yeah,
would have been helpful. So like it's just I guess that was my main problem. Was just a little underwhelmed. I thought like there was going to be a bit of payoff for all that, just like even if it's in exposition of explaining what's going on. But that never came other than that one conversation. And even then it was like, why would I toast to a dead man? Like, like
that's the part that pissed me off the most. That's when I got really frustrated, and that was the icing on the cake for this to be underwhelming because I made it clear on the last few episodes. I want to see Crimson Sky in full effect.
right.
He made it clear to Yabushige, Crimson Sky is dead. Like there's no chance in Crimson Sky working
Right.
at this point. It was only a slim chance of it working before. He made it clear from get he didn't even want to resort to that because he didn't expect it to be successful. Right? So, but then as he's telling him the story of his vision and how things played out and what led them to that moment. And then you have the cutscene with the CGI and everybody's on the battlefield. I thought we were gonna get a little bit of something.
And even that shit was like
He
that's
skipped
next
the he
month.
skipped the he skipped the whole battle that actually happened.
Yeah.
Went straight to the end where everybody turns on him. Like
Yeah.
he
And
he
even
skips
then
to the end of the story with that.
yeah. And even then he was like, next month this is gonna happen. It's like, dude, like this whole like what
Now that part I understood though because they were very traditional about everything, even while being
right.
at war.
Yeah, 100%.
Like honor and tradition really means a lot to them because even with that meeting of the regions,
Mhm.
their whole thing was it wasn't even so much that she was a Christian. It was the fact that how it happened was very dishonorable. And
Right.
it didn't live up to their standards of doing things.
Right.
But last week you called that the Christians were gonna feel some type of way, and this was gonna be them pulling away from him and like finally having the balls to be like, hold up, shit ain't right.
Right.
And I was right about the whole Ochiba no kata.
Mm-hmm.
Shorty definitely she did it smoother than I expected. And I guess that proved the point of her not having like having power but not having no real power. Like she not at the forefront. Like she's really the ill puppeteer. Like everybody focused on Toranaga and his trickery, but the way she pulled strings from day one and nobody really knew it was her until later
Mm-hmm.
on, and how she took a step back but still really running the show on the low because now she gassed it like she's finishing a poem, but she's sending Toranaga a message, and that ends up being what the deciding factor in Toranaga being able to win this whole battle. Blackthorn though, what are your thoughts about him trying to commit seppuku to save the village?
I mean, the man just lost his girl. Any all options were on the table, but I mean, I don't know. That's a whole nother part that was throwing me off. That's a whole nother part that threw me off. The whole boat situation was a bit of bullshit. Um, a lot of the um, a lot of the Blackthorn stuff was wild to me. The whole like I'm gonna let him rebuild his boat and then I'm gonna tear it again. I'm gonna burn it down again just so he can build it again. Like just was that was stupid.
I don't know, cause it's like the whole burning the boat down shit, like he's in on that because he wanted to keep Blackthorn alive. And he said
Mhm.
he gave her the green light. So like they clearly spoke about it, right?
Right.
Before she left. This is all part of the plan. But he still needs that boat to win the war. Because now they under the assumption, the ops is under the assumption that that boat is destroyed, the weapons are destroyed. Because that's the only, if you really think about it, that's the only reason why the Christians let him live. Well, the Catholics let him live was because they were going to be able to destroy his weapons. So now they take away his weapons, he can't defeat them either. So it's like, all right, we'll let this one dude survive because now he don't got the cannons to take us out, right? So, but Toranaga still needs that boat.
Yeah.
So he
No,
told
he
him,
definitely still needs
build
the
the
fleet.
boat, build the boat, build me a fleet, but you not going nowhere though. So once this war is over, if you think you're leaving, I just might have to destroy your boat again. That's how I took it anyway.
Yeah, like I said, I get the culture thing. I get all that. All of that just comes back into that whole Toranaga not really saying nothing. Like he clearly has value to you, but you make it seem like he don't have no value to you. And it's I don't like that's my whole thing is like you don't. He never clearly explains anything. I feel like in my opinion, that's the annoying part. Um, in that situation, but I mean, I thought that like even the part with him being the kind of like the dream or whatever with him being like the old man back in England or whatever like that. I mean, I guess I thought it was like maybe kind of a real thing until he actually threw the rosary into the water, and I was like, oh, okay, that was just a
So that fucked me up too. That fucked me up too. But real quick with the Toranaga thing, before I reply to that though, don't you think that if Toranaga would have explained everything, that would have been like off base for his character?
No, I'm not saying he got to explain everything. I'm not. I even said
The
like I said
writers
the
themselves,
after
like just
credits,
to
like
show himself. All right, I
yeah,
understand what you're saying. Yeah, yeah.
even at the end of it when like he does like they do the cutaway from him at the end where he turns his back and he's like looking at the ship type stuff. Like just I just like I'm curious. Like I had to go Google stuff afterwards. Like that's all I'm saying is like I had to go Google stuff afterwards to see like
Yeah, it should have. And to your point, most films or TV shows do that, where you'll get like a paragraph or a few paragraphs with cutscenes where they give you the little details of what happened after all that. At least when it's based on real life events, which this is supposed to be.
like
But
the way I ain't gonna front. It's crazy though. Like it's for it to be just like obviously we know there's not going to be a season two, but like that shit damn near ends like it's like there's about to be a season two.
yeah, and that's what that I thought about that when I was sitting there. So I didn't watch it live. I knocked out. I knocked out before it started. So I'm watching on DVR. So I'm fast forwarding, and I did the same thing as you. Where I know that this is supposed to be the last episode, but you can't just leave it there.
Right.
So I'm like, I wait for it to come back from commercial, no closure. They just tell you go watch the podcast or go listen to the podcast. So that was disappointing. But with the whole Blackthorn thing though, it fucked me up because when the show started, I'm like, okay, this is this whole time he's telling a story to his grandkids or he's having a dream
Mm-hmm.
because he's holding the rosary. He's old as shit, look like he's on his deathbed. And it ends with the grandson asking him a question and it cuts back to where we left this off with the story. So the whole time I'm thinking he's having a flashback. Then he drops the rosary. And I'm like, okay. So was he dreaming about like was he in that coma dreaming about the future and like what life could have been?
I
Or
don't know.
what he
I know it's
wanted it
some.
to be like he's still like in this coma, does he think that she's still alive? Is then that shit had me fucked up because then I'm like, yo, did Mariko die or is this somebody else? Because the last thing they show was he fucks her and then she ends up dying.
Mhm.
So that shit it threw me through a loop too, and threw he until he threw it in the water, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna lie, for a few minutes I was stuck on that again, and I'm like, okay, so was he dreaming? Because they said that he would sleep for a few days, like he missed a
That part
few.
lost me.
They
How
said
was
he
he
missed the
awake when?
funeral.
But I'm saying, but he was awake holding her when after that explosion, and then the nigga was unconscious for 4 days.
But you know how like they do that a lot in the Asian films, like dudes will go through some shit and make it there alive or pass out, right? Like and then wake up 2 weeks later in somebody's crib and they bring in the medicine or soup
Yeah.
or tea or something. Like I don't know, I don't understand how that works either. But I mean, now that you started like this seems to be like a common thing. Like a lot of things just didn't really add up in that final episode.
And like I said, for it to have been so fire for the first nine, like obviously, like I'm gonna look at the totality of all the candidates say it was fire, but we could just there could have been a little bit better of a bow, but I guess I mean I'm sure the ambiguous finish will grow on me maybe,
I
and I might
feel
even go
like
back and watch it again.
I feel like as far as Toranaga goes, like the ambiguity is on par for the course. Like given how everything was like how secretive, like all the unpredictability and twists and turns on this show came from Toranaga
Right.
and his deceptions. So I feel like as far as he goes, it's on par. But then even like with Blackthorn, where it's like him and Buntaro, it's like Buntaro finally respects him. Like he knows that Mariko died.
Mhm.
And it's like he knows that Blackthorn was there with her. And it's like he finally gained his respect or whatever. And how he's running the whole crew trying to pull the ship out at the end, and him and Toranaga do the head nod from across the beach. Like all that. It's like we talked about this a few episodes ago when he first finally saw his shipmates. And then he got into it. Like he was having an identity crisis. And
Right.
at the end, it was like he finally like felt like he belonged or had a place or a purpose there. And
Mm-hmm.
it took Mariko dying. Because even like we saw on the ship, the whole time he was always with the shits, like, yo, get me the fuck out of here. Who's rolling with me? Who's gonna help me get out of here? You can come with me, you're gonna be good. We're gonna go to my queen. And then on the way back to where were they, what was it, Izu, right? That's where they went? On the way
Yeah.
back to Izu, Yabushige on the same bullshit. Now he's like, yo, what's the name of your country? We out. We're gonna get on your boat. We going to your country. We out. And he's like, yo, bro, get your shit together, man. Get your shit together. It's like that was the first time we saw the shift and he wasn't just trying to take over.
Right.
But I found it real interesting watching him go back and forth with Toranaga, like trying to get like I was with Toranaga, like, since when all of a sudden do you give a fuck about all these people and like you willing to the point that you willing to sacrifice yourself for them? Like, I don't understand the point of him trying to commit seppuku for to save the villagers essentially.
Well, I thought that's because he knew Mariko was the one who set him up for the ship. That's what I thought. That was more the point. He knew it wasn't nobody in the village that did that.
Yeah, but all right, you know they ain't got nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
But you really about to kill yourself just so he could stop punishing them?
Like I said, his girl just died.
I guess. I don't know. It didn't really make sense to me. I was just like, I don't get it. And then as soon as Toranaga stopped him, it was like he came to reality and realized what he was about to do.
I
So
mean,
I
his
guess
girl just
maybe
died,
you're
but
right. Yeah,
I mean,
I guess you're right. Like, yeah, I don't know. I felt bad for your boy when he died, and I shouldn't have, because he's been a piece of shit. I've been waiting for him to die the whole time.
he been waiting to die the whole time.
Yabushige?
Yes, that's all he been talking about the whole damn season. Guess we gonna die tomorrow. Guess that.
But he
The
didn't
more,
want to though. He just kept expecting to.
that's what I'm saying. But I just feel like
Because at
at a
the
certain,
same time, the whole reason why he was betraying Toranaga in the first place was because he wasn't trying to die.
yeah. But I mean, but I knew at the end of the day, I knew 4 episodes ago, there was no way he was getting out of this show alive, one way or the
Oh
other.
no, for a fact. For a fact, there was no way. Especially what was it? Episode 8 or episode 9, where no, even before that. Because Toranaga first put him on that he knew that he was on some deceitful shit and playing both sides of the fence.
Mm-hmm.
He let him rock. And then in the last episode, Toranaga told Mariko that he already knew. So that was, I'm not gonna say whenever episode he first told him, like, yo, bro, I already know you tried to help this dude, bro. Like, let me know right now what side you on.
Oh,
So that was
yeah,
then when I was like, yeah, you definitely
I
gonna
got
die, and I can't wait.
I got to give him his props though. He to me he of all the seppukus that we've seen, he did his the most gangster. He ain't do no. He ain't set out the little fan. He ain't get on his knees. Motherfucker just said,
Yeah, I ain't
like,
gonna
like,
lie. He fucked my head up with that because the whole time I'm like, when is this dude gonna get on his knees? Pause. Cause you know, they always, even if they always on the knees, like you said, all do the same shit.
take their shirt, do the shirt off
Yeah,
thing.
like
Yeah.
He didn't even do the slice across the stomach. He just out of nowhere too. I didn't even know he took his shit out the sheath. He just sitting there and just stabbed himself and looked up like, you gonna cut my head off or what, bro? I give him that. That was gangster.
The smile on the way when he looked back though, that was like they the little like I fuck with it.
Toranaga like smiled, but like tried not to. Like he stopped himself. Like he got a little smirking though. The whole it was that was the best part of the episode to me.
And then his body fell off the cliff.
Yo, bro, that shit was so fire, bro. Like the head fell, then the body just tips over, falls down. I was like, and for a second, you could hear it bang a couple times. Like,
Yeah.
it's fire.
And then I like the little whatever he did when he flipped the sword back after he'd done it. Like,
Yeah.
that's gangsta shit.
Cause one thing I
So,
noticed was every time they show somebody being the second, they only showed it a handful of times, but when they showed it, you always see them wipe the blood off with their hand before they put it back in the sheath.
yeah. I thought they do it in like the sleeve.
Nah, go back and watch when Buntaro seconded his father. Just straight bang, bro. Like it's nothing. And then they cut away from it.
Mm.
But he ain't even wipe it off. They just show him and panned away. I was like, nah, that was some fire directing right there. But overall, I was pretty disappointed though. And obviously you were too, but it's funny, like we're disappointed for different reasons. I needed a more climactic finale, especially like there's no season 2.
Right.
You could have gave us at least like a sneak peek into that battle. I'm not even gonna try to say the name of that. That's a
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the CGI could have been like that could have been a little 5 minute whole thing where he lay out everything that's gonna go happen in the next couple months. And then
where like while he's talking, we could have saw so much more than that.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did us dirty.
I haven't even spoken on my biggest disappointment yet. The fact that they showed me that fire ass mask at the end of every fucking episode, I mean, at the beginning of every episode, and I didn't get to see nobody put that damn thing on.
Bro,
Because
not
all I
even with
wanted
the CGI.
all I wanted to see was Toranaga with the Shogun. That helmet is so fire. Like you can't keep showing that at the end of the opening credits and then not show nobody rocking that.
And they show it every time it come back from commercial.
Yeah, like I needed that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I was just so like upset. Like when I realized this is the end of the episode, I was just so upset that it wasn't more. It almost reminded me of how I felt when Game of Thrones ended.
Well, that was a different type of pain.
And I don't even think the
that
Game
was
of Thrones
climactic for all
ending.
the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I don't even think the Game of Thrones ending was as bad as most people feel about it. Mostly because I give them the benefit of the doubt that HBO did them dirty and was just like, yo, we're not renewing y'all for another season after this. So they were forced to wrap up the rest of their story in 8 episodes.
Yeah.
But that's like almost how I felt watching this finale. Like it wasn't enough for me.
I'll be honest. Dune has made me feel better about Game of Thrones.
Why is that?
Because Daenerys and Paul Atreides are the same person.
Okay. So what do you watch? What else were you watching besides Shogun?
At the moment, I just started Sugar the other day. Still mixed feelings on that at the moment. What else am I watching? Jesus, I'm still watching Loot. If you need a fun laugh, Loot's always a good one with Maya Rudolph. Waiting for another season of Slow Horses. If we're talking
Yo,
about
bro, I ain't
Apple.
gonna lie. That show's so fire. I appreciate you for putting me onto that. I don't think I've ever told you, but like, I always try to give shit a try when people tell me that, like, to check stuff out. But that made me trust your opinion on stuff, like, and then our conversations about Monarch.
Mhm.
But like, just those conversations right there, I was like, I could trust his opinion on this shit and give things a chance.
Oh yeah, no. When I used to play ball overseas, all I would do is sit like in them late weird times with the time zones being off, and I'd just be up all day. So I would just binge shows, binge movies. So like I watch a lot of TV, a lot of movies and stuff just because that's what I do. But I mean, yeah, it's some good TV out here for sure. Slow Horses. The reason I really like Slow Horses is because they're always filming a new season. So like like that's why at the end of every season you always see the preview for the next season already because they already shot it. So the
Mm.
season that's they're probably if this is about to be season 5 that's coming up, they're already filming season 6 and they're already writing that. I saw the guy I listened to a podcast with the guys and they're already writing season 7
No, isn't it season 4?
or whatever. I'm saying so if they're doing 4, they've already filmed 5 and they've already written 6.
Wow. Yeah, I just checked. We're not gonna get 4 until November 2024.
Okay, I mean they already put out one season this in the early. They already put out one season this year, didn't they?
I don't know when 3 came out. Whenever you put me on the slow horses, it might
That's
have
when
been
it was
the
out.
beginning of this year or end of
I think
last
so.
year. I think it was end of last year. Because if
Mm.
I'm not mistaken, when I was looking online originally trying to find out about the next season, season 2 and season 3 both came out in the same year, but like 6, 7 months apart.
They keep it rolling.
So, but yo, bro, you put me onto that show in less than 2 weeks. I saw every episode. I was hooked immediately off the first episode. Shit is fire. Amazing writing.
Gary, Gary
Shout
Oldman's
out
going
to the
crazy.
English people. Shout out to those writers and directors out there in the UK and the actors. Like they put out hella good content. Peaky Blinders is one of my favorite shows.
I I just stopped watching Peaky Blinders one day. And I just never went back to it.
Go back, bro. Go back.
I think I got like 2 seasons left to finish it. I'm trying to think what else I'm watching right now. I just started The Sympathizer on Max. It's got Robert Downey Jr. playing like 3 different roles in it. He's like 3 different people in it.
They just put out
So
the first episode
yeah,
like last week,
yeah.
right? Okay, I
Mhm.
added it to my list. Is it worth was the first episode
It's
good?
cool. Like I said, I've only seen the first episode.
Was the first episode good?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So waiting on that. I think there's a mayor of Kingstown that I think starts next month. I'm
Can't
looking
get that.
forward to. You can't? Oh, that shit's fire.
First
There's a
episode
lot of good TV
wasn't
out there.
enough for me.
And then I'm trying to get into what is it? Gentleman in Moscow.
What's
It's
that?
on it's on Paramount, Showtime, whatever you want to call it. It's got Ewan McGregor in it. It's kind of slow. I'm not sure if that's your speed. But I'm trying to get myself like in the mood to watch that because I just heard it's kind of slow. And then there's a show on AMC with Giancarlo Esposito that I thought about starting, but I haven't. The fact that like I haven't seen anybody really talking about it. Parish on AMC. It's got Giancarlo Esposito in it from Breaking Bad, but the fact that nobody's really talking about it makes me wonder if it's good because I haven't seen anybody in like the TV pods or the TV people that I follow. I haven't heard anybody speak on it, so I'm not really sure if it's good. And it's like the first season too, so it's probably like maybe 4 episodes in, 4 or 5 episodes. Let me see.
I gotta
Yeah,
finish
there's only
Invincible.
4 episodes.
I gotta finish Invincible, and I gotta finish The Gentleman. I still haven't
Gotta
finished
finish The
The
Gentleman.
Gentleman.
The Gentleman's fire. Invincible ends kind of iffy. Oh, I do gotta watch that too. Clive Owen's got a show on AMC. Was it Mansour Spade that I've heard a lot of good stuff about. He's like an old what was it 1963 France. He's a detective in it. So I've heard. I watched the first episode. It was a good little watch. So I might take some time and finish that up this week.
You said it's
I'm
on
always watching something.
AMC?
It's on AMC.
All right, I'm gonna check that out. Then I got the YouTube TV. I could check that out on the demand.
Yeah.
I gotta so the gentleman like I might have watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes. I think. What episode am I up to? I'm on episode 3. I stopped
No.
watching in the middle of episode 3.
Yeah. Finish that.
It's because I be like I was telling you the other day, I be trying to keep up with the wrestling now again because certain storylines pique my interest. My mom's always like sending me. My mom's is a wrestling junkie, like junkie. Next time I go to her crib, I'm gonna take a picture of her bedroom and her living room
Mhm.
so you can see how much shit she got all over the place between just her bedroom and her living room. She got shit everywhere, bro. And that's just the stuff she has at home. Her job, she got mad shit that she's really a fiend. And she's been like this my whole life. Like it's so crazy that she had damn near every pay-per-view from the 90s recorded on VHS and then converted them to DVD one by one.
Love it. Love it.
But so she be sending me clips, especially if she's live. She stays to recording videos, sending me shit. So and every time I see like certain things on social media, I'll be talking to her about it, whatever. So then I watch WrestleMania. I'm like, I could get back into it. Wrestling has gotten better again. I be trying to keep up with that. And then I'm an old head. I prefer the attitude era, the ruthless aggression. So I be watching old pay-per-views or just documentaries on different wrestlers,
Mhm.
Stone Cold's podcast. And then I don't know why, because there's so much different shit to watch, but I'm always rewatching some old shit. Like I'm binge watching Married with Children, um, The New Girl, The Wayne's Brothers, all at the same time.
New Girls at a different level than those two other shows, but because Wayne, I hate Wayne's Brothers. Now that I'm older, I hate Wayne's Brothers.
I love that type of comedy.
There's an episode where they try to give Sean a promotion, and then they don't take the promotion because they fired somebody else. Said, man, you don't shut your ass up and take this damn management job. It was so many times they just like shot themselves in the foot off principle. I'm like, nigga, this is not realistic.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a sitcom.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, we're gonna get mad at Marlon because he sold out for the malt liquor. Like, stop it, bro.
That show is hilarious though.
It is, but like, oh no, anytime I think what's up, Albino Dreyfus?
So
Anytime, any episode they got what you call it, Dupree in it, I'm with it.
OD, yo, he's one of the funniest like recurring characters ever.
Yeah.
But you said
Anytime Marlon dap up somebody, that's the funniest shit in the show. That's the funniest shit in the show.
so when I sent that message in the chat
Uh,
about our boy
yeah,
in the club,
yeah.
before he sent that heinous response, I was trying to find the gift from the Wayne's brothers where he started going crazy, where he smack him on the back of the head and all that. But the best I could find was from Don't Be a Menace.
Oh man,
Yo, his response was
the response
wild.
was OD. Nigga said I'm sending a Christmas card.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yo, I
Our
know
friend
he
group is
loves
wild.
to watch everybody's stuff and show support when he can. If he makes it to the end of this episode, he's gonna be tight and laughing at the same time. Cause he know he did bad. He stopped talking after that.
That is wild. They got to
We
pay.
both had similar responses, and he was just like, all right.
You got to pay international fees on them text messages.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yo, he had me weak.
Seen it
But
all.
I guess that's it for this week's episode, though. That was a good laugh. I'm gonna finish The Gentleman by the next time we record, so we can talk about that.
Sound like a plan.
Oh, they got Get Gotti? What is this? Oh wait, I saw this already. Never mind. I'll watch anything mob related, bro. Anything
Oh,
mob related, I'm down.
that. Yeah. What's your favorite mob movie?
Godfather 2. Nothing touches that.
That's the best. It's not my favorite though. I still
That
like Bronx Tale.
well, I
Bronx
mean, The
Tale is my favorite.
Godfather 2, The Godfather 2 is not only the best mob movie, it's my favorite movie.
It's
It's
like the
my
best movie.
favorite movie of any genre of all time.
Yeah, it's one of the like. It's not one of my favorite movies, but I understand it's one of the best movies.
Nah, that's legit one. Like, so gangster films is my favorite. Gangster
Mhm.
films and spy films are like my two favorite like subgenres of movie.
You're a melanated man, so yeah, makes sense. You can say that shit like,
I mean, barely, but yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying that like,
Summer coming though, I'll be a little darker. But
nah, Bronx Tale is my favorite mob movie.
yeah, it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
So,
I work not too far from the strip where most of that movie was filmed.
okay, so
Yeah, like
but
they
nah,
even got a big ass Bronx Tale mural on that block, and it's pretty dope, bro.
okay, but like, nah, I understand. Godfather 2 is a perfect movie, essentially.
Nah, it's a great movie.
Hit or
Like
miss.
even though the subtext in it, like that movie has so many life lessons in it, but that's probably like if not
Fucking Mo
The
Green.
Godfather, it's probably number two. Cause if it's not The Godfather too, then it gotta be Goodfellas for me.
Your favorite movie or your favorite mob
No,
movie?
no, I'm talking about like mob movie. Like if it's not
Okay.
Godfather 2, it's Goodfellas. It's Goodfellas.
Yeah,
And then it's a Bronx Tale.
I like Casino too.
Casino is fire. It's up there. It's just not on that level though. Like, and Casino's a great movie. I almost watched it the other day. I saw it come up as a recommended pick on one of these streaming apps. But nah, yeah, it gotta be The Godfather too.
I
And
think that.
then Goodfellas.
Like I said,
I respect the Bronx too.
I say it like in all things. Like I understand LeBron James is one of the best players. Not one of my favorite players, but I understand he's one of the best. So I can accept that Godfather 2 is not my favorite mob movie, but it is the best.